Wow, that's a story, and I'm gonna fumble with it. First thing is, I know the writer. The writer didn't really know me as an actor. I've known Orrin Squires since I did like a workshop at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Conference. And I always wanted to direct one of his pieces. I saw one of his pieces out there. You heard of the Eugene O'Neill Theater Conference? Yeah. So I was a part of a show called, Jesus, what was it called? Anyway, a production of something that was brand new. Thou Art Loose, Girl, Thou Art Loose, something. It was an amazing piece of music. I just can't remember the name because I'm 100. But, but I met him there, and I saw one of his pieces, and I was like, man, I want to read some of your plays, and I want to direct one of your plays. So he brought me some, he sent me in my inbox a couple of his plays. It was one about Barack Obama, another one was about something else. And I got to read one of them, but I didn't read the other one. And we hadn't been in contact for a while. So one day, like a day before I got a call from my agent about this project, I saw Orrin. Me and my friend was going to see a show in New York. I know this is long-winded, but it's life. Mm-hmm. Me and my friend was going to see a show in New York. It was one of the most bizarre pieces of experimental theater I had ever seen in my life. It was two women. They were locked in some kind of jail. I don't remember the name of it because I just couldn't believe what was happening. It was crazy. It was experimental. And I love those kinds of things because that's where it all started anyway. You know, the hoopla, the shoom is not the best thing in the world anyway. And when I say the shoom, I mean like all this fabricated color and blah, blah, blah. But I love experimental theater because it makes you see the actor. It makes you see what's being really written. And that's how I learn, especially as a writer and a director. So I went to see this show, and he was there, and I hadn't seen him for a while. So I was like, Orrin, oh my God, how are you? And we talked a little bit, and I said, so what's happening now? You know, I still want to direct one of your plays. And he was like, yeah, I sent you some. And I was like, yes, but I need you to send some more, because that was some time ago, and now I might be in a different headspace. My whole life has rearranged and changed, and I might be thinking differently. So he was like, cool. I said, what are you working on now? He was like, yeah, I'm working on these two pieces. I won't mention the other piece because I don't know if it's ready for anything. But he said, I'm working on this piece about Louis Armstrong. I was like, oh, what's that? And he was just like, yeah, it's this piece that they're getting ready to do a workshop on. And I was like, so he explained to me how he wanted Louis Armstrong to be. And I was like, oh, that's not going to be me. So I know that that's not a part for me. But what else is in the show? I said, is there anything else going on? He was like, I don't know what's happening right now. I don't have any control over anything, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Whatever is whatever. So I didn't ask him, get me an audition, get me this. I didn't get an audition because of him. Actually, I didn't even get an audition. I got a call the next day from my agent asking me about this jazz musical. He didn't say what it was. He didn't say anything about Louis Armstrong. He said, casting wants you to send in a video. Oh, sorry. Casting wants you to send in a video of you singing jazz stuff. And I'm naturally a soul singer. Blues. I don't really have any jazz repertoire. I have some things that could potentially be jazzy, but I'm not a jazz singer. I infuse R&B and jazz, but I'm not really a jazz singer. And singing R&B would not be the correct component to try to get an audition for something. So I was like, oh man. But the casting director knows me. And I said, let me send this. I sent about 4 videos to my agent. Yes. So they saw it, and he said the next day that the director wants to have a Skype with you. And I was like, what part is it for? He was like, I don't know. I don't know what part is it for. I don't know. It could be ensemble. It could be anything. And I was like, okay, no problem. So then I get a call from my the director. And we speak the next, it was a couple of days later. We spoke, and he was like, hi, Juson. And I'm looking at this man like, I was up for a role in Taboo years ago. That's what Christopher Renshaw, who is our director now, he was directing that show back then. And I was so mad that I was not a part of it, but I went to see it over and over again, and I thought it was one of the most beautiful things in the whole wide world. I'm a big fan of Boy George, always have been. His music, it brought something to me as an artist. So when I saw this in a musical, I was like, whoa. And I was like, I want to work with this director someday. Who would have thunk this? It all just, it's divine. It's nothing but a higher power for me. I don't know what people believe in, but I'm gonna say higher power because I know that the way it feels to be a part of, to know that if you continuously do what you do, something's gonna figure, or something's gonna work its way out. Something's gonna work its way to you or back to you. And he said, I seen all your work online. I remember you from Taboo. I just wanna know one thing, because most of my work is, I'm very cheery. He wanted to know if I could go deeper. And I was like, ooh, the reason why I don't go deeper is because I'm cheery. I go cheery because I have so much deep stuff within my soul that it would be really hard to demonstrate without breaking down. And he was like, but I want that because this is what he is. This is what we're going. So 'cause I didn't know anything about Louis Armstrong. All I knew about Louis Armstrong was his voice, the trumpet, and that he was a jazz man. That's all.